So let's come on to competition day.
Yeah.
Which of course we were always very confident about. I was always very confident. Always told you how well you would do. Also going to talk about your teammates in a minute, but you know, competition day, so people might not understand, but you choose an opening lift at a particular poundage, and then I think I'm right that you can then get 3 more weights. Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 attempts at each.
So you have to snatch first. And I think you were number 7, I think, if I'm right in the list of 7th in the order.
Something like that.
So you chose 92?
Well, I had 92 down as an opener.
How many times in training did you hit 92?
Twice.
Yeah, I thought it was once.
Or twice?
I thought it was once, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did like the day before I went out,
right.
I did it.
Yeah.
And well, I did it in the training hall 2 days before the comp as well.
Yeah.
So generally they'll the coach always keeps snatches quite high leading into comp because it is so technically has to be on point.
Yeah.
That you have to keep them
incredibly
the
technical.
Intensity up. Yeah. So I think I think my last snatch in the warm-up was 90. They bumped me up to 94, and then before we knew it, we had no time, so I had to go straight out. But it was fine. You're just used to the rush sometimes, getting the timings right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 94 looked easy. To me, to the untrained eye, it looked almost like a power clean type thing. It just looked easy.
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, felt pretty solid. I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah. So then you get to the 97.
Yeah.
And you shit the bed.
Well, no, I didn't shit the bed. I didn't give it enough. It was just, I think I must have been a bit complacent based off the 94.
Right.
But that's I think you can, if me looking at my performance now, I can see that I wasn't quite 100%. But I was probably about 90%, if that makes sense.
So you missed 97 twice.
No, once.
Once.
Yeah.
And then you go up in weight.
So another girl, I missed 97, another girl just got it. So the way it works now is the first person to lift a weight goes into the top spot.
Right.
So by me trying to do 97 again...
Waste of time.
Yeah. So they bumped it up to 98, but I don't know any of this is going on because before comps I would say to the coaches I don't want to know anything.
Right.
I just want to lift it. So some athletes want to know every little detail. They want to have the conversation there and then. Let's try this, let's do that. But I'm the opposite. I'm I don't want any of that stuff in my head.
No noise.
Yeah, I just want to lift the weight. So they have obviously put it up to 98, but a Romanian girl went out first and got it. But they then had to make the decision: do we go up again, or do we just cement this 98? So I think because they knew what kind of build-up I'd had, they were like, right, let's just get the 98. And luckily, I woke up for that one.
How many times in preparation did you lift 98?
0.
Before you hit that 98, when was the last time you hit 98?
At my last comp in December 2019.
So that's almost 18 months.
Yeah.
So you walk out, you do your prowl, you visualise, you look at 98. Talk me through the lift then, because it looked easy. And I saw a great clip on Instagram of one of your teammates had videoed it, was shrieking in the background, and you looked so aggressive and it looked so easy. Talk me through the 98, because I suppose the 98 was really what got you the gold medal in the end, wasn't it? Although you obviously had to do your cleans and stuff. Am I right in saying if you hadn't got the 98, you couldn't have got the gold medal? Is that right?
I think I could have,
right. But
it would have put a bit more pressure on me.
Right.
I think if I hadn't have got that 98, then mentally I would have been
What's the mindset as you approach that bar? What are you thinking?
Just be aggressive. I was already pissed off with this 97 because it was just a waste of an attempt. Right. So I was like, just be aggressive and just go for it. You can't at that point, you can't overthink it. Yeah. As soon as you start thinking, I think it's game over.
Yeah.
So, I just knew I had to attack it. And with a snatch, once you feel it in the right place, you know it's a good lift.
Yeah. So aggressive and attack. I don't know who you sound like now.
Use the rage.
Use the rage. And it looks, obviously, I'm definitely an untrained eye, but it looked easy. 98. When I watched that 98, I thought to myself, had you had another weight to choose, I'd have felt pretty good about you banging out 100. Okay. So I think you were joint joint first or second?
Well, no, second at
You
that
got the weight
point.
second.
Yeah.
Okay. As you go into the clean and jerk section, and am I right? You chose 120 to open. Is that right?
122.
122.
Yeah.
And you hit 122 easy. And at that point, I think the lady that could beat you, she misses or something, didn't she? So at that point, you become the gold medalist without going any further. Am I right with that?
I think
Did you
so.
know that or not? You
No,
didn't know
just
that.
I don't like all that.
Well, from watching it on Eurosport, I think, and obviously realising now that you don't know what numbers are going on, you made your 122. Another lady missed a lift, and the commentators were a bit confused.
Yeah.
And then the man, who I don't know what his name was, who was commentating, said, "She's done it. She's done it." And Michaela Breeze, I think, was the lady who was sort of trying to work the numbers out. And then when you obviously came out for 129, didn't you?
Yeah, so the coaches were doing their thing where they were like whispering loads and trying to, figure things out. But it was more Stuart, who's my coach and also the team manager. He has like a spreadsheet with all the Olympic qualification stuff, like these big flipping formulas that give all the Roby points, blah, blah, blah. And I think he decided that 129 would give me a decent amount of Roby points to try and bump me up the ranking list.
Yeah.
So that's why, because it's such a random jump to go from 22 to 29.
Yeah.
And they're just my coaches were like, you've got to get this, like everything into this lift, like give it your all kind of thing. So
you didn't know at this point that you'd either won the gold medal or that, this was you don't know anything that's going on at this point.
I had a feeling, because I was like the last one doing the clean and jerk, so I had a feeling like I might have already won it, but I don't know, you just don't register that because you've still got stuff to do, still got work to do. So
You deserve it.
yeah, so I knew the 129 would be a big lift, so I just went for it, and I felt so relieved afterwards.
Yeah, I was actually in the bath. I was in the bath. My boy was in the bath. I think I sent you the video. And the commentators at this point do a great job. So having known you for a while, you always say to me, listen, if I can clean it, I can jerk it, because you're incredibly strong. I've seen you do 130 double on a jerk. And you do the clean, which I've never got any doubt that you're going to make. I'm 100% confident. My boy's watching from the bath. And the commentator says something really good. He said, just enjoy this, Michaela, because I think he knows you're going to jerk it. And you bang out this 129. And at that point, I think it was 20, if I got this right, 26 years, Britain's first European champion for 26 years. And I think it was Megan Myrtle or something?
Myrtle, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ogie or
Yeah, I didn't get the name
She
wrong.
was an athletics person.
Yeah. But I think I've got that right. It was 26 years since Britain had a European champion. Obviously, your teammate, we'll come on to those in a minute, won the heavyweight category two or 3 days later. So incredible team performance. At what point did you know you were the gold medalist?
I think after that 129, I was fairly confident that I had won it.
But when did you see it that I'm a gold medalist?
Probably when I stood on the podium and watched the flag go up on the little screen. I was like, that never happens in weightlifting. Like, you never see the Union Jack at the top. You never hear the anthem.
How did it feel?
Amazing. But I'm in like a funny zone after I compete. Like, I can't access my emotions, if that sounds...
I think that's very common for athletes.
It's very, very weird. Like, when I'm at home and I just think about winning, or I think about achieving my goals or whatever, like, it makes me feel emotional. But when I'm in the moment, I'm like, just feel like I've not got anything, and just like in this tunnel vision. Yeah, it's very, very odd.
I think that elite athletes are able to kind of access a state, a portion of their mind that allows them to be elite and to do things that normal people can't do.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think sometimes, when you see interviews after teams have won a Super Bowl, or I think they always look flat, because like you say, they're just still in that place. And like you said at the start, maybe it still hasn't sunk in that you're a European champion. Okay, so let me ask you a very honest question. Did you think you were going to win?
No. Well, when?
When you got on the plane, I always knew you were going to win. I told you that from day one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm just not that way. I'm not like, I'm going to win. I'm not like that. Like, I knew.
So what was your expectation? Might be a better question. Was your expectation just don't shit the bed, make it lift?
Yeah.
Or was it, listen, get a medal here? Come on.
I wanted to get a medal. I thought I could do that. I mean, even though prep had been so rubbish, I knew I was strong. My squats had been good, jerks had been good. I knew that there were other elements to my training that had been all right and half decent.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was a competition performer, and I'd done that previously. So
Yeah.
I think I just heavily relied on that, and like I knew I'd get the adrenaline. So
Yeah.
I just wasn't ever confident enough to be like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I did ever feel like that.
No, and again, I hope what people take from this is that, you know, preparation and build up to events, athletic tournament, football matches, it might not ever be perfect. I'm sure that people will look at you and think, oh, I bet training was bad, I bet everything was great. Well, we just talked now, it wasn't great, it was incredible. But if people would just hang on a bit and persevere and keep looking for ways to get little 1% improvements, anything can happen. I've said this to you, magical things happen when people just persevere.
Yeah.
And you're a living testament to it. I'm guessing it's your biggest achievement in the sport, yeah? Is it the one at the moment that you think that's what defines you?
I think in terms of everything like I had to go through, it definitely is one of the biggest achievements. But the Commonwealth Games was like a massive moment.
Sure.
Because for
Like
so
a breakthrough.
long, the breakthrough, and having like mum and dad, Joe, friends there watching, and having a big crowd, like, and you know, the Commonwealth Games has always been like our version of the Olympics in the UK, because of, you know, all the doping history and things like that. It's been the only real platform we could achieve and win gold medals. So it's always been massive in our sport, like the Commonwealth. So it was just, it was a really big moment. And the Europeans, it was off the back of everything. It was like,
it was incredible.
Just a relief. Yeah.